It'll be one to go this time by. Coming to the green, buddy, coming to the green. Let's go get him. Go, 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 dig, 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 go, 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 go.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway.
This video teleconference. It's in advance of Sunday's NASCAR Sprint Cup Series race at Michigan International Speedway. That's the 3M Performance 400 presented by Bondo. Sunday also will be the 7th event in the Race to the Chase. That's the 10-race stretch of the season that precedes NASCAR's playoffs, the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup. Today we have two guests joining us from the NASCAR Research and Development Center in Concord, North Carolina. We have Greg Biffle, driver of the number 16 3M Ford, and his car owner, Jack Roush. Roush Fenway Racing, they have a total of 10 Sprint Cup victories at Michigan. That's the second best total all time, trailing only the Wood brothers' total of 11. Greg, currently 10th in the series points, has 2 of those Michigan victories for Roush Fenway. Gentlemen, I have a quick opening question for each of you before we go to the media. What it is about Michigan that matches up so well with your organization through the years? Greg, maybe you can start off, and we'll go to Jack for that opener.
Well, I don't know exactly what it is, but I'll tell you what, I feel awful lucky to be a part of that, because Michigan has just, you know, just right off the very first time I saw the racetrack and was on it in the Craftsman Truck Series, adapted to the track very well, loved the racetrack, the way it raced. I raced twice there in the Craftsman Trucks, undefeated the 2 times I went there and raced, and then came back and got 2 more wins in the Sprint Cup Series. So that racetrack has just been one of my favorites right out of the get-go. And Roush Fenway has been very good there for a long time. Jeff Burton and Mark Martin have had a lot of success there, and Carl and Matt. So it's just been a great track for us. It's been a great track for me personally, and I probably have got the benefits of our organization being good there as well.
Yeah, and Jack, maybe you can add to that, because so many of your drivers have won at Michigan.
Well, there's an expectation, you know, based on, as Greg said, Mark's early success and then Jeff Burton's. There's an expectation that we'll run well at Michigan. I'm well represented there in the grandstands. We have 2 suites, the only track on the circuit that we have 2 hospitality suites. We've got our Roush Industries home in the Detroit area there, so we've got lots of people coming to watch, lots of attention, lots of interest. Of course, it's Ford Motor Company home there in Detroit, and the car companies enjoy coming to Michigan and duking it out. But you know, we've had a legacy of having really fast cars. I think of having generally pretty good engines, and better than average luck there. We've had fewer than average number of flat tires and blown engines and things. And generally, when something does happen, it'll happen to our best car, and it'll thwart yet another opportunity to win. But Michigan is a great track for us. 2.5 track with a lot of opportunity to race wheel to wheel, to race clean, to be able to pass clean, and the guys have been very effective. I'm proud to ride the wave.
Very good. Thanks to both of you for that opener, and we'll go to the media now for questions for today's guests, Greg Biffle and Jack Roush.
Thank you. The question and answer session will be conducted electronically. If you wish to ask a question, you may do so by pressing the star key, followed by the digit 1 on your touch-tone telephone. If you're using a speakerphone, please make sure your mute function is turned off so your signal can reach our equipment. Once again, that is star 1 to ask a question, and we'll pause for just a moment to assemble our queue. We'll take our first question from David Newton with ESPN.com.
Yes, this is for Jack and Greg. What do y'all see as the role of the manufacturer today in NASCAR? You see that role changing over the time as the economic times grow tougher?
Well, I don't know. I mean, Jack could probably answer that question a lot better than myself, but I see Ford still very involved in you know, our organization and the sport. You know, they're very passionate about NASCAR, and you know, a lot of the race fans are the guys that support the Ford product, and that, you know, they support our teams just the same as I think they have in the past. And we know that all automotive times are tough. You know, all the car industry is not doing the same with the fuel prices and all the things. So, but they're still just as passionate about it, and they know that the NASCAR fan is their customer, and they help us technically, to do what we need to do as much as they can.
Ford in particular, Ford in particular has got some research data that indicates that if the broader population had a 30% chance of being interested in a Ford product, going to a Ford dealership, the NASCAR fan has twice that. It has a 60% chance that he'd go into a Ford dealership, or he or she would go into a Ford dealership and look at a Ford product. So when times are tough as they are now, there's an even greater reason why that Ford sees they should spend a lot of their marketing dollars in the direction of NASCAR, just because they've got so many willing and prospective customers there. Past that, the teams benefit greatly from the technical innovations of the car companies. I know they brought us any number of new tools and new computer algorithms to help us predict and to analyze data and to come up with the ideal, or to an acceptable setup to start at a given racetrack. The tires change, the track changes. Of course, the new car has brought with it a new center of mass relationship and a new downforce signature that really made all the records that everybody had obsolete. Without Ford's help, we certainly couldn't be in a position where we are in terms of being competitive most of the places we go.
And Jack, has that changed? Has the role of the manufacturer changed much over the last 10 or 20 years?
Oh, absolutely. Looking at the budgets of the teams, there was a time when I first started when the contribution that the manufacturer had to the race teams was less than 5% of the revenue, and today it's north of 10%. So their monetary support has doubled over 15, 20 years. And in the meantime, we used to think about the number of parts that would come from the car companies that could be useful to us. They would give you maybe some direction on the way the front fascia should be shaped and the way the rear fascia should be shaped, and those were primary parts. But today, you not only get the parts in terms of what their shape is and consideration of what NASCAR's templates are, but you also got an interaction with any number of engineers, from the CFD, the fluid dynamics, to the aerodynamics, to the stiffness, and to the fatigue characteristics of the chassis, and a number of the components on the chassis. So they're more involved than they were initially, and certainly more vital. If all the other manufacturers, if none of the manufacturers were involved at the level they all are, then it wouldn't matter. But today, every time somebody steps up, then the other manufacturers feel the need to match it, and if they don't do that, they'll get behind. So it's really a cascade snowball thing that's going on.
Thank you very much.
And we'll now hear from Travis Braun with USA Today.
Yeah, Greg, I wondered, you lost 2 spots in the championship at the Glen. Are you concerned at all about not making the chase, or are you pretty comfortable where you are and out for those elusive bonus points with the victories?
Well, I think a little, I'm definitely not easy cruising to the chase right now. We know that we're on the envelope of getting in. We're in that 8th through 13th class that's going to fight right down to Richmond. Unless one of us breaks out, gets a win and a couple top 5s and locks herself in the next 2 races, we're on that bubble. And certainly the finishing 21st at the Glen wasn't what we wanted. It's not where we ran all day, but that's the finish we ended up with. And we are just lucky that the deck is stacked sort of in our favor. We run very well at Michigan, very well at Bristol. I like California and Richmond. So those are good racetracks for us to be going to. If we're going to Talladega and Martinsville and some of these other tracks, I wouldn't be as optimistic as my chances of making the chase right now. But we're by no means safe. We know that we have to run hard and well. The thing about Michigan is, the thing I love about it is you can race as hard as you want, and 2 and 3 wide on that downforce racetrack for the win, and be able to do that in a cautious manner where you're going to get a good finish. So that's what I like about Michigan. One of the things going this weekend, that we feel like we can get a top 5 finish there, if not win. We feel like we can win, but later the 2 a top 5, and that will certainly help us in the points.